Polygram Video have done it again. I am delighted to be able to announce their outstanding new range of adult comedy titles. This fantastic selection is available now, and it features Britain's bluest of the blue stand-up comedians. After the success of their last videos, Roy Chubby Brown, Jimmy Jones and Bernard Manning are back. Bigger, bawdier, bolder and bluer than ever before. And joining them this time are two of Scotland's most talented comics, Alex Happy Howden and the legendary Hector Nichol. But for the moment, let's take a look at the irrepressible Roy Chubby Brown.
I've had a good look around now. Some lovely ladies in here tonight. Any of you ladies having trouble with the old clitoris? Come and see Roy after the show. I'm not an experienced gynecologist, but I'll have a fucking good look at it for you. I do my best to turn her on. I rub tuna fish all over my body so we smell the fucking same.
Quasimodo, I was running down the road and all these kids are after me. He said, I haven't got your fucking ball. Fella dashed in the house, says, come on, love, pack your bags, I won the pools. Come on, he says, pack your bags, I won the pools. She said, what shall I pack? Something light, something heavy, where are we going? He says, just pack them and fuck off. Quasimodo walked in this pub, he said, Scotch whiskey, please. He said, Bell's all right. He said, mind your own fucking business.
3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm right upper. All I heard was... I said, who's that? He says, my husband. I says, your husband? I said, where's your back door? He said, I've not got one. I said, where would you fucking like one? Kids are very funny. We chat not been at school for days, and the teacher says, why not at school, Tommy? So I'm very sorry, ma'am, I couldn't attend. I said, please tell me why not? My daddy got burnt. He said, then dreadfully sorry about that. Son, was it serious? He said, look, ma'am, I don't fuck about in the crematorium.
Love came home from work. His wife said, go up and have a word with that boy of yours. Third morning running, I've walked in that bedroom and that bastard's playing tennis. I actually see his hand going up and down today. He went upstairs, he said, now look, son, he said, you've got to stop this wanking. He said, you'll go blind. He said, I'm over here, Dad. No, honest. A puff went in the delicatessens in Bournemouth. He went, oh, hello. What do you want? That bit of salami, please. I'll have all that, thank you. Bloke slipped it out of the cabinet and started to slice it up. He said, what do you think my arse is, a money box? 2 quivers on the beach by me. One said, Cecil, shall I put the brolly up? He said, if you like, but don't open it, it's a class out.
I mean, last year I went in this school and I really enjoyed it. You feel a wee bit embarrassed when you go in and, you know, nothing on. You feel, you know, you're looking about to see if you know anybody, you know. And I said to this fella, is that Dick Brown? He said, it should be. He'd been here a fortnight. And I even went into the sex shop. I went in a sex shop and I said to the girl, I said, give me 3 contraceptives, miss. She said, don't miss me. I said, well, give me 4 then.
After the massive success of From Inside the Helmet, Roy Chubby Brown saddles up once more with The Helmet Rides Again. Bernard Manning weighs in once more with the follow-up to Ungagged, with his new loaded video, Shooting from the Lip. Lewd, crude and rude is what makes Jimmy Jones so phenomenally successful, and last year's video, A Cultural Night Out, proved just that, so look out for him in Twice as Outrageous. And finally, for the first time from Scotland, Alex Happy Howden, whose new video couldn't sum him up better. He's bald, bold and blue, which could equally sum up the infamous tartan-clad Hector Nichol with his new video, Bawdy Lines. There'll be another silver-tongued gentleman out on video on November the 25th as Roger Melly, the man on the telly, hits the small screen for the first time, along with his semi-piscine footballing friend, Billy the Fish. So there you have it. Viz on video this autumn.
Do I get nervous before I go on? I've got to tell you, I'm here now, and I'm roughly around about 30 minutes or so away from the actual show. I'm sitting here. These are the requests for gags that I've had this evening. 3 pages of them. So I know they're out there to see me, but nevertheless, about 10 minutes before I go on, the dressing room's empty, and I stand here and I kick the wall and try to get the gags in my brain. I mean, it's nice to know that you've got 1,200 people out there ready to go, but you've still got to go out and win them.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, on with the show. It's my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome on stage one of Great Britain's finest comedians. Put your hands together for the inimitable Mr. Jimmy Jones.
Thank you. Oh, evening. Lovely. Good evening. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the show. Got some nice little stories for you this evening, all perfectly clean. And if you believe that, you're pissed already, I'll tell you. I don't leave anybody out. I tell stories about everybody, Englishmen, Irishmen, Scotsmen, Welshmen, and one or two. Just have a little look round. Luck I've had, he might have had his teeth out. I know there's one here. Got some, as I said, some lovely stories, like why have Welsh men started to wear kilts? Because the sheep have got used to the sound of a zip. Like, what's the difference of muff diving and driving in the fog? You can see the prat in front of you when you're muff diving. I don't know how many of you have ever been to Bournemouth. Anybody ever been to Bournemouth? Ain't it lovely? And there's some puffs down there, though. Well, I know you've been to Bournemouth, and there's a lot of puffs down there, millions of them. I tell you, I dropped my wallet one day, and I kicked you all the way back down the house. I wouldn't have been there. They really make you laugh. They say I'm gay. I'd be fucking miserable. Somebody done it to me, I'll tell you. Very miserable. A doctor had his finger up my arse once. Now I think about that, he did have both his hands on my shoulders, that bastard. Anyway, I've got some real nice stories for you, and I ain't gonna mess about here. Bloke came home from work. His wife said, go up and have a word with that boy of yours. 3rd morning running, I walked in that bedroom and that bastard's playing tennis. I actually see his hand going up and down today. He went upstairs, he said, now look, son, he said, you've got to stop this wanking. He said, you'll go blind. He said, I'm over here, Dad. No, honest. No, he's still in. I mean, what is the most sensitive part of a man's body when he's having a wank? His ear holes, making sure the old woman ain't coming up the stairs. No, honest. One of the most embarrassing days of my life. My mum called me wanking. Yesterday. No, honest, yesterday. In the bath. Do you know it floats? No, it's dirty, that is dirty. Here, while I was in Bournemouth, I've got to tell you, they told me a story about the Lone Ranger, how he was pegged out. The Indians had him pegged out on pegs, stretched right out. And they've dropped his trousers down to just below his knees. And they've poured treacle over his helmet. Medical words, knob, you know what I mean? The lump on the end that's shaped like a mushroom. Dirty cat. And they're going to let these ants out to eat his helmet away because they've heard that he was a wanker. And they were going to stop him wanking. And you see, without an helmet, you can't have a wank because your hand keeps flying off the head. You didn't know that, did you? See, it's always nice to have an helmet because sometimes the wife wants to kiss it, don't she? I've had to take my wife to the doctor's, a silly cat. Kids want me to put my dick in her ear hole. So every time I go to put it in her mouth, she goes, this is drunk. No. So they've said to the Lone Ranger, he said, any requests before we let the ants out? He said, can I have a word with my horse? Because that is a clever horse, that's silver. He brought the horse over, put his head down beside me, whispered in his ear hole, and the horse has gone, getting pissed off. He's back 5 minutes later with this bird on his back. Now, this bird is stark naked, not a stitch on. She's walked over to where the Lone Ranger was, straddled his face, and dropped her jack and Danny, plop, right on his nose. Poor bastard, his hands are tied. He's fighting for breath, he sort of had to give a... Well, the Indians by now, aren't they? I mean, they've got an handful of dirty gits. And I think she was enjoying it because she was giving him a bit of that and all. And it went on for a good 10 minutes and she sort of give a... Stood up, typical woman, didn't even say thank you. Worse than the woman who sat on Pinocchio's face and said, tell us another lie. Worse than that. Got on the horse and pissed off. Well, the Indians are flabbergasted. They said, that it? He said, no. He said, could I just have another word with my horse, please? And they brought the horse back and he said, I said posse. Anyway. Ah, he's true. Irish, and I don't normally do Irish stories. You upset them bastards, they start throwing pins at you, don't they? And if they do run, they've got an hand grenade in their mouth. Irish fella was up in court for fighting. The judge said, this is the 14th time you've been brought in front of me for an affray. He said, I'm not afraid of nobody. He said, affray? He said, affray yourself, what are you talking about? He said, you've been fighting. Oh, yes, sir. If that's affraying, I've been affraying all over the place. He said, I noticed that you haven't worked for nearly 2 years. No, sir. I've been down the job centre, but they haven't got the job I'm looking for. So what sort of job are you looking for? He said, well, I'd like to be an ozone layer. He said, look, he said, it's obvious. He said, I'm going to get you some work. He said, you're going to go down the job centre tomorrow and you'll take the first job that's offered to you. Otherwise, I'm telling you now, I'm going to put you in prison for a year. You hear me? Prison for a year or the first job. He said, I will not go to prison. I take the first job. So he got down the job centre. He said, I've come for a job. I have. I said, I've only got one. Yeah, all yours, turkey wanker. He said, what's a turkey wanker? He said, there's a farmer down the road, he's trying to develop a turkey with 5 legs, because everybody wants a drumstick at Christmas. He said, I'm not wanking turkeys, I don't wank myself. I didn't even know they had a dick, the dirty bastards. I said, it's half of that, or prison for you. Oh no, I'll go and wank a few turkeys, I'm not going in prison. I'm not telling anybody I'm a turkey wanker, you know. I'd like to get on that television programme. What's your line? I'm a turkey wanker, get out of that. Go all the way down this farm, and I said, you're the turkey wanker. He said, yeah, but don't tell anybody I'm a turkey wanker. What am I going to do? I said, well, the turkeys like it. They're around the back. They're waiting for you. Just give them a quick wank, shoot it in the bowl, and bring it round to me. Poxy turkey wanker. So he's walking around the back. All the turkeys have seen him, gone running up, going, gobble, gobble, gobble. He said, no, I'm giving you a wank. That's all you're getting off of me. He's true. Honey. A Scotsman was saying goodnight to his young lady in the doorway. Now, this is no lie. They were having a wee kiss and a girl. He said, Mary, we've been talking a long time. She said, 4 years. He said, we've never let me have a wee bit of the other. What's the chance of me just tucking a bit in tonight? She said, you're no touching my Jack and Danny. She said, a fortnight and we've been married and you can have as much as you like. He said, I've got the hair now. She said, we'll go home and splash it. I said, what? So he's had a bit more kiss than Colonel Scoodner, did he, you know? He said, Mary, I know we're getting married in a fortnight, but a fortnight's a long time when you've got the horn. Could I no just have a wee stroke of it? I'd even stroke it downwards. I don't need ruffle your hairs. She said, you're no touching my Jack, I told you. A fortnight and you can have it all neat. So he's had a bit more kissing and squeezing both the diddies. He said, Mary, I'm going home as any good Scottish fella would do and have a 5-knuckle shuffle. Which is a wank, isn't it? Just a posh word. He said, could I no just have a wee look at it so I've got something to pull my put on? She said, but you only got to wait for the but a fortnight, just a wee look. Just 2 minutes, I won't talk to you, I won't say hello or nothing like that. She said, well, be quick. She dropped her drawers and held her kilt up and he had a look at it. He said, do you think it'll keep a fortnight? This is true. I wouldn't tell you a lie. Actually, I don't know how many of you know, but I was named the Comedian of the Year this year. Well, last year. I've just presented it to a fellow by the name of Roy Chubby Brown this year. But one of the prizes, my manager worked this one out because he loves me. And he sent me to a place called Batley Variety Club, which is just the other side of Leeds. Now, I don't know, anybody from that part of the world?
This side of Leeds.
You been? Speak to me, whoever fucking spoke. Have you been?
Huddersfield, all that.
Oh, you're from that part, a lovely part of the country. No, it is nice. Fucking hell. Anyway, on the drive up to Leeds, I get a fun, because as you know, I mean, the real bit about me getting the Comedian of the Year was quite unusual, because normally, it's been presented 14 times, but they've only ever given it to people that do television. And as you know, for some unknown reason, they won't let me on. I don't know why. I personally think I would brighten up a kids' programme. The programme I'd like to bring back is the Wooden Tops. I used to like the Wooden Tops, did you? Yeah, but they were good, weren't they? When he spotted the dog, wasn't he? Didn't he have some bollocks on him for a dog, didn't he? A wooden dog. Anyway, the drive up to Leeds, I get a phone call. My manager phoned me and said, would you like to stay over and do some Yorkshire television? I thought, that's handy, the bastards ain't heard about me. So I stayed over and I've done the programme, and I don't know if anybody's ever seen it. Do any of you watch Highway at all? Oh, I'm not on Highway, I should point that out. But if you look to the right of Harry Seacombe, I'm shitting in a field. I'm on a programme, Organic Gardening. And I was on a high-fibre diet, and I was shitting about £14 a day. And they said, would you shit on the rhubarb? I said, certainly, I prefer custard on mine, but you have what you like. But anyway, they said to me, we put you in a guest house, come hotel just outside Leeds. It was, Bradford. Now, there's a place, if you've never been there, I have never seen so many people with bad heads. Oh, the tea towel brigade is there. There's millions. You can't buy Oxos there. They use them as bath cubes. I'm telling you the truth. Well, we got there about half past 1 in the morning because my son drives me. And they're starving now, and we've been out all day, and I've had to work, and I said to him, we're looking for a Chinese. I've done mine a bit of Chinese. And he spotted this fish shop. I thought, oh, yeah, lovely, fish and chips. But we got in there, and they didn't have no fish and chips. That's all they had left was this shit that hangs up on the window, goes round on a spit. Press slam, and they burn it and slice it off, don't they, and put it in an envelope. which they call bread, which you can tug out further than a woman's fanny, can't you? You can! And it chews a bit like one and all now I think about it. So, I said, no, I don't like that, I don't like it, because I only ever had one, and it's full up with fat, you squeeze it, all the fat runs down the front of your trousers, doesn't it? It's lamb, it dries white. You go home and try and explain that to the old woman. I said, no, I don't like that, I don't like that at all. I said, any Chinese? He said, not in Bradford, mate. He said, next door's open. I said, what's that? He said, the Star of India. Well, I'm not keen on Indian, but we went in, and we're sitting there. Thought I had an outboard motor standing beside me. What? He had the fucking size of their crisps. I mean, you only get 4, but they're not fucking big, is it? He said, what is your wanting? I said, nothing too hot, mate. I've got a bit of a cough. Because you have to be careful with Indian, because you can cough, fart and follow through, can't you? I only had about 1 pair of underpants for me, so... He said, the chicken tikka is very tasty. I said, you? Chicken tikka? No, tikka, chicken tikka. Ah, chicken tikka. I thought, yeah, I've had some of that out of Marks and Spencer's, and I've had some out of Sainsbury's. I'll have that, because my old woman's got that for me. And it came up on a bed of rice. Now, this rice was orange. Fucking bright orange. The green bits in it were them surprise peas. Because the bastards were still hard. Now, the black bits in it, they could have been currants. But I noticed that they had rabbit on the menu. And I got a feeling I was eating shit. But it was nicely cooked. And I had a pint of lager, and I got up the following morning, and my lip wasn't stuck up like it can be when you've had it in India. And I didn't rush, which was handy, because I didn't have an ensuite. The toilet was down the corridor. So I put my dressing gown on, and I sort of took a little... praying to God that the trap was empty, which it was. And the window was open, so I didn't have to stretch up. And honestly, I was no sooner on the seat, and my arse started drinking the water. It was sucking the water up from the bottom of the pan. Now, I didn't give a big cough. You don't have to, I only thought, but it goes, doesn't it? Now, I don't know what Indian does to your arse, but you never get a lump. And you sort of never reach the water, do you? You sort of Artex the whole fucking pan. And of course, you women are lucky my prick and bollocks are hanging down there. You've got shit all round the back of your nuts. And you're... I always thought they were praying. Now, your next thought is, please, God, don't let that paper be Eisel. You don't want Eisel, do you? You want something that's going to be long and soft, about 2.5 yards of it, don't you? And you treble it because it gets wet and your finger goes through. Don't it stain your finger? You look as though you've been smoking 200 fags a day. And it stays there for days, doesn't it? I've accidentally gone like that and burnt my tongue. Oh, and you walk around, you want to drag your ass across the lawn like a dog does when it's got worms, don't you? But you're fighting to catch your bollocks on a brick, that's what you worry about, don't you? Bastard, don't I? I am, I play snap with the bloke who stutters, I do. Hey, you out the back, all right? Yeah! Do you like it out the back? Yeah! Told you. Been a lot of puffs about, you got to be careful with the bastards. A puff went in the delicatessens in Bournemouth, he went, oh, hello. What do you want? That bit of salami, please. I'll have all that, thank you. Bloke slipped it out of the cabinet and started to slice it up. He said, what do you think my arse is, a money box? 2 quivers on the beach by me. One said, Cecil, shall I put the brolly up? He said, if you like, but don't open it for Christ's sake. But honestly, down there in Bournemouth, why do all these old ladies, they walk, and they do get a load of the elderly people there, and they walk down the front, and they sit there with their legs wide open, up here, and you've got them big shit catchers on, haven't they? Hanging down, with all the elastic, and the hairs are still sticking out the bottom. Have you seen them? If they was to sneeze, they'd whip themselves to death, wouldn't they? I walked by one old girl, she's got no drawers on, there is her Jack and Danny looking out to sea. I said, shut your legs, there's some big boats go by here, girl. Southampton's further down. Anyway, 2 old couples was on the beach, and they came off of the beach one afternoon and they went for a walk in the park in Bournemouth, because it's a nice park by the pavilion, have you seen it? And they were sitting there and they were really enjoying it. And one of the old couples went back to the hotel, and there was just this old couple sitting there. And he's gone, Mary, somebody's been smoking some of that funny stuff. She said, how do you know? He said, well, I've only got a Roger on. She said, you ain't? He said, yeah, it's like a skin poker. She said, quick, we'll go back to the hotel. She said, we ain't got time, girl, it might go down. She said, but I ain't seen that hard for 15 years. She said, quick, come round the back of the bench, drop your drawers, bend over, I'll have a back scuttler. So her drawers around her ankle, she's bent over the pant, and he's behind her. Got his puffer out. He's got hold of her love handles. 40 minutes. She's looked up, she said, who's coming first? He said, I hope it's a copper, my legs are killing me. You coughed then, you weren't trying to cover a fart, was you? Because you cannot cover a fart with a cough. You'll always... You will. Not you women are crafty bastards. You can always sort of let one of those poofers out, can't you? You do, you women can all sort of... Nothing's worse, fellas, when you're standing at a party with the old woman and she's in the kitchen and she's gone and pissed off and left you standing there. And everybody go, that fucking wasn't me. You do them though, don't you? Look at that. Which one's your boyfriend? This one here? No, haven't got a boyfriend? I'd like to go out with you. You've got little legs, you make my dick look big. Where are you from, son? Poplar. Oh, ain't a bad place. West Ham supporter? No, who do you support? Yourself. Well, you ain't making a fucking good job of it at the moment, are you? She's just denied she's your girlfriend, you scatty bastard. Nice haircut, though. Bloke was in the hairdresser, bloke just finished cutting his hair. He said, we'd like something on it. He said, yeah, a pair of knickers, you cut it like a prat. How are you, my love, all right? Will you talk to me? Where are you from? Hertfordshire. Oh, getting nice, posh. Did you get out of the bath to have a piss? I mean, I don't bother. I piss in sponge and squeeze it in the sink. It's easy, isn't it? Had a family? 1, 2, oh, boy and a girl? Oh, that's getting lovely. And this is the old man, is it? No, that one next to you? Had to be the fat bastard, didn't it? I thought I was in trouble. I just happened to notice the size of you. You can walk about anywhere you fucking want while I'm on. Hello, how are you? You look lovely. Is that what I think it is? Lovely. When's it due? What, July? Oh, lovely. You're first? Second? Oh, lovely. What are you hoping for? Don't say a white one. just hope it was a baby. Why, have you been doing it with a dog or something? What's happening? Don't you fart with tights on, it'll blow your shoes right off with that one. They are lovely though, kids, aren't they? They do ask. I thought that was blood, but it's not. And Are you from Hertford as well? Where are you from? Where? Tilbury? Now there is a shithole. I'd have moved. I wouldn't have said Tilbury. East Tilbury, that's a bigger shithole. What, Barbados Shoe Factory? Hey! You know the new roundabout they've built by the docks? I've shit on that. I mean, don't go and look for it, it's probably hard by now. It's just nice to get you involved, you see, to get you to relax and enjoy. You look a lovely lady as well. Are you from Grays? Where are you from, my love? Your face is very familiar. Surrey. Oh, whereabouts? Where? Reigate. Oh, in Reigate. That's really lovely there, isn't it? And are you posh? Do you say, quick, I'm arriving? And you've had a family as well? How many have you had? 5! Get him out! It's nice to see you sitting up for a little while, isn't it? That's lovely. Must be something in the air at Reigate. Possibly your legs. What do you think? The old man deserves a knighthood. He's probably got one and won't wear the bastard. Welsh fella, young boy, lived in Wales, a little place called St Mellon. His dad had died when he was a baby. Lived in the house all on his own with his mum. Very, very shy boy, very similar to myself. Very, very shy. And the only woman he actually spoke to was his mum. Didn't ever had a girlfriend, didn't even know how to chat a bird up. Anyway, the house next door was empty. But a couple moved down from London. Had an 18-year-old daughter, absolutely beautiful. Now, one of the things, they didn't have a flush toilet, they had a tea bark, which is a tin hut at the bottom of the garden with a bucket. Well, every morning, this young girl would get up, 19, you can imagine, little skirt on, pop down there in a dressing gown. Well, he was sitting upstairs, flogging himself silly, wasn't he? 5-knuckle shuffle all the time. So, he was telling one of his mates down at youth club. So he said, well, why don't you chat it up? Oh, he said, well, I wouldn't know what to say to her. He said, well, don't be such a prat, boy. You've still got a lovely garden. Oh, yeah, lovely garden. He said, well, next time you see her going to tea bark in the morning, get out in the garden, making out you're doing a bit of weeding. When she comes out, just say to her, good morning. She's bound to say good morning back. They're very hospitable in London, as you know. And you can say to her, I'm just looking after the flowers in the garden. They're beautiful, aren't they? And she'll say, yes. And you say, well, there's none as beautiful as you. And she'll say, oh, thank you very much. And you get her over, ask her over for coffee, give her a coffee, and you can slip her one on the sofa. Oh, he said, I can try that. He's up the following morning, 7 o'clock, looking in the mirror, talking to himself, good morning, lovely morning, I did. He's got it off pat now. He really got confidence, you know. See her popping a tea bark, he's out in the garden. Oh, king hell, I'm gonna have that. Doing a bit of weeding. In 5 minutes, he thought, you know, she's a long time. And the confidence is starting to drain, you know. 10 minutes has gone by, all of a sudden a tea bark door opened, and she's come out, she said, oh, morning. He went, oh, morning. Lovely morning, isn't it? She said, yeah, it's gonna be a nice day, isn't it? Yeah, he said, I'm just looking after the flowers, aren't they beautiful? She said, yeah, they are nice flowers, aren't they? Yeah, none as beautiful as you. She said, oh, thank you very much. He said, just had a shit then. You'd be surprised. Here, how about these 2 Irish fellas? Got drowned trying to start their boat. was told that today. I thought that was funny. Hey, actually, you'd be surprised where you do get stories from. And of course, I happen to look for true stories. And I always try to relate to people's, sort of, when babies are born, I think they're absolutely lovely. Because I actually see one of my baby born. Her name's Helen. And actually, the eldest boy's with me tonight. His name's Paul. And in those days, I used to live in a council house. And this is gospel truth. And the old woman, I don't know why, I don't know whether you start late at night, but my old woman's always started in early hours of the morning and the pains can start. And I'm there and sort of I said to her, well, hang on, I've got to go and phone a fucking midwife. Because she lived in Ockenden and I lived in Upminster. She always come over to me on a fucking bike. And it was a fixed wheel, no saddle, and she always come in with a smile on her face. And so I popped round the phone box, and it was a case in those days, 4p, press button A. And I got through her, told her all about it, and she said, right, I'm on my way. Well, by the time I got back, the old woman's had a few hollers and chat, and she's woke Paul up. And of course, I said to him, well, look, hey, boy, there's a dummy, you've got to be getting quiet. Daddy's got to look after Mummy. So Paul's sitting there, the midwife's arrived, and sort of she started, and sort of I've had to help her with hot water and Dettol in those days, bags of Dettol. And by Christ, doesn't it stretch? Which is one of the things I've got to have a word with the doctor about. He promised me to go back, but anyway. Sort of the head popped out and they got hold of that cord and tied it in a knot to stop it going all around the fucking room. And of course there's a little girl and she's laying there, and of course the nurse has picked her up and held her up by her feet and give her a right slap on the fucking arse, hasn't she? And she's gone, ah! And Paul got off the chair and he said, serves yourself right, you shouldn't have crawled up there in the first place. It's true. A boy of 16 got sent home from school, this is true, walked indoors, his mother said, don't talk to me, I don't know how you could do this to me and your father. We've worked hard for you, we've moved you out here to Surrey. Reigate, and we've tried to give you a better standard of living, and you've disgraced us. Just get upstairs, you wait till your father gets in. Of course, the old man's walked in. Hello, darling, all right? No, I fucking ain't! Because she was posh, this woman, right? Bastard kid of yours! So what's he done? What's he done? He's been sent home from school in disgrace. He might be 18. He's been caught having sex with the English teacher, the dirty git. He said, I'm going to sort him out. He's upstairs in the bedroom. Good boy. Proud of his son. I didn't give my English teacher one, but I had a couple of wanks over, I'll tell you now. I'm going to treat you. I'm going to buy that racing saddle you want for your bike. Oh, she's not this week, Dad. I couldn't ride it in my arse as sore as this. Told ya. There's a lot about. I think we've talked about everybody. Have we talked about everybody? We've talked about we haven't talked about the police. Any police in? Lovely, because I'm looking for somebody to dig my garden. Where are you? Oh, yeah, I fucking know him. How are you? All right. You they're pointing to, the one who's won the fucking fruit. He's not really a copper, is he? Nah, you can tell a copper. I got stopped this morning as I left here. He said it's a spot check. I said I've got 2 blackheads and a boil on my arm. He said, you in a hurry? I said, yeah, I'm looking for a shit house. He said, you found one, give us your licence. Copper was walking around the west end of London and a horse dropped dead in Shaftesbury Avenue. Couldn't spell Shaftesbury Avenue, so he dragged it around the Greek Street. Here, this fella was a fanatic for Heinz beans. He loved Heinz, but you know what Heinz beans like? Talk about shirt lifters, his arse was alive. He could really tear him off. He was a right loud bastard. When he met this very, very petite young girl from just the other side of Chelmsford. And he thought, well, I can't fart in front of her, she's nice. So he gave up the beans. And she dated her again and again, and he thought, well, she's worth it. So he stopped having beans because of the noise of his arse and the smell as well. Anyway, her mum and dad had a lot of money. 3 weeks they're engaged, 6 months they're married. And her mum and dad had a lot of money, as I said. Bought them a beautiful house, just the other side of Wickford. Really nice house it was. And sort of, you know, they've gone away on their honeymoon. He's come back, first day back at work, and he worked at Ford's. Well, he went to Ford's. And there's no bastard works here, do they? Anyway, he's come out and he's got a Skoda. And don't take the piss, it was a Rapide. We've got a board here with a Rapide, haven't you, son? Where are you? Better find out what registration it is. A B? Oh, shit. E? Oh, one of the latest ones. They're lovely. Engine in the back, you hit anything, the bastard keeps going, doesn't it? Nice car they are. And you know how to really show it off, don't you? Stand it in a car park full of larders. Anyway, he's coming, it's packed up. So he's got the AA out, and the AA said, no, we don't repair Skoda. He said, are you really? They said, no. He said, well, we can get it in the garage for you, but that's as much as we can do. So he phoned his wife, and his wife said, well, what's the matter? He says, well, I've broken down, I've got to come home on bus. She said, well, how late? He said, well, you know what the buses are like, I ain't going to be home till 8 o'clock. She said, well, don't be too late, I've got a surprise for tea tonight. So he said, all right, so he's gone to Romford to pick the bus up, and he's got 40 minutes to wait, so he's popped in the cafe, and there it was, beans on toast. He thought, oh, I'm going to have them. I'm married now, so he's had a big heaping of beans on toast, hasn't he? He's got on the green line, he has cleared the upstairs. Even the bus conductor, he said, I'm not going up there, that is shit. He's got off the bus at Rayleigh Weir and he's walking down the road. Ooh, kinda, that's stunned. Got outside his house, he thought, I'll have one big one before I go in. And it... Ooh, kinda. Nearly followed through with that, I bet there's a skiddy there. Got to the front door, she said, oh, I've got a surprise for you, T. Let me stick a blindfold. He said, no. She said, no, come on, let me blindfold you. He thought, oh, we're just married, one of her silly games. Stuck a blindfold on him and walked him and sat down at the table. Just then the phone rang. She said, promise you won't peek. He said, I won't peek. She said, promise. He said, I promise I won't peek. She said, well, I'll go and answer the phone. He thought, it's handy. I said, oh, I've got one here. So she's gone to answer the phone. He's just... Getting out. I'll have to have a pup in a minute. That stinks. She's still having her. He thought, just one more. Back she's come. She said, you haven't peeked? He said, no, I've got a surprise. Undone the blindfold, 12 other people sat at the table. Bastard, isn't I? I am, I'm a right shit fuck. I even stand behind blind people at Pelican Crossings and go... But you can have a laugh. I mean, you do have a laugh at other people's expense. I mean, if you are evil, don't you? It's the same. I mean, I've got to tell you a very true story. This actually happened here years ago. We used to have a doorman here. It was a great friend of mine. And when I used to work here quite a lot, he had a car shop as well. And he used to come here to sort of look after us of a night time, sort of just a doorman on the door. And he had trouble with one of his eyes. So I said to him, well, I'll introduce you to Lenny Peters, eye specialist. So he went to see Lenny's eye specialist, and the bloke said, well, the eye's gone bad, have we got to take it out? He said, well, I've got a few quid. He said, can't I have a transplant eye? He said, well, they are doing transplant eyes now. He said, but you've got to wait. He said, you've got brown eyes, so you've got to wait for a brown eye. You can't have a blue one or a green one. And it's got to be a young person's eye, because old people's eyes are too tired anyway. So he said, well, what's going to have, a patch? He said, oh, no. He said, we'll fit you up with a glass eye, which they did. He had the glass eye about 4 months. He went back to see the doctor. He said, this glass eye, he said, can you drill a hole through the middle of it so I can see out of it? He said, no, it's a glass eye. He said, well, when am I going to get my other eye? He said, well, there's a waiting list, but if you come up with an eye before I can actually get you one, if somebody dies and leaves you an eye, it's got to be a young person's eye, and you've got to bring it to me packed in ice. Got to get up to Moorfields. Within inside of 5 hours of it being sort of taken away from the body, I'll be able to do something with it. So he left here one night, and he's going round the A13, and a car has come by him, and it's clipped him and rolled. And as it's rolled, it's burst into flames. But he's the only one there, so he's got out to go and have a look, and there's this bloke sprawled out on the grass verge, dead as a doornail, eyes wide open. He thought, them bastards are brown. Ain't nobody about, so he took this bloke's eye out. Took his glass eye out and put it in his place. He thought, who's going to know? Gone home, packed ice, phoned the specialist, up to Moorfields, had it transplanted. It took a little bit of time, best part of 6 months. And he came back to work, and as he's coming down the A13 to work, he saw the car still there, so he stopped. So he's having a look round, his copper's poked his head up. He said, do you know anything about this? He said, no. Looks a bad smash. He said, yeah, bloke was killed in this. He said, it's had us mystified for nearly 6 months. He said, really? He said, yeah. He said, a bloke has drove that car all the way from Southend with 2 glass eyes. I'm slipping in all the time tonight, aren't I? It's just nice to talk to me. You're not married yet, though, are you, darling? Are you married as well? Have you started a family? How many have you got? 2, boy and a girl. Oh, that's lovely. And you're from East Tilbury as well? Oh, no. See, she's a shit-fop. You're from Chadwell St Mary, I gather. No, where? Biggin Hill. Oh, that's nice over there, isn't it? And do you work for Sainsbury's? No, what do you do? What? Cab controller. Oh, you shout out where they're going. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? What a fucking job that is, isn't it? You're taking a piss, aren't you? And you like it? Is it your old man's cab firm as well? No, you just do it for somebody else. Oh, really nice. How you going, son? All right? You look athletic, are you? Sort of. Football? No. Do you support football? Who do you support? Who do you support? No one. I knew I shouldn't have written this. I've been over Millwall, I've watched you play. I was over Millwall only a few weeks ago and I saw them playing and I said to the bloke next to me, I said, hey! And don't take a piss. The manager came up to me, he said, are you staying till the end? I said, yeah. He said, here's the keys, lock that for us, will you? I'm going to support Leighton Orient. That's the team to support. Yeah, it is. You get over there at quarter to 3 with a pair of boots, you're likely to get a game, aren't you? How about all this cricket? I've got to tell you, this is true. This is gospel truth. They were getting a side together to play a charity game of cricket. And they're standing in this pub, and this horse walked in. 4-legged horse. He walked in and he went up to him both of them. He said, any chance of a game of cricket? He said, you're an horse. He said, well, I can still play cricket. So both of them said, all right. He said, you show up tomorrow and I'll give you a game of cricket. So he showed up the following morning, hat, woolly, trousers, pads on the back legs, gloves on the front legs. So both of them said, we can't have a horse playing bastard cricket. So he said to Lamb, he said, look, put him in opening bat. He said, then we'll get rid of him. 6 balls, 6 sixes. Ears knocked them all over the place. Changed ends as they do. Tony Gowers there, first ball down, turned it into the slips and started running. Got halfway down the wicket, and the horse was sitting there, went, run. Because he's posh, that Tony Gowers. Run, and the horse has gone. But he's gone scampering back. He's only stumped out. First ball, stumped out. Flung his bat down. He was half upset. He said, dearie, dearie me. Or words to that effect, anyway. He's walked by this horse, he said, you prat. Why didn't you run? He said, if I could run, I'd be at Ascot, not playing poxy cricket. true story, this is. Fella took his segrants from the docks. Decided, right, I've had enough. 50 grand he got. He thought, right, I'm going to move away. He moved all the way to Norfolk, a place called Crowborough. And he had a feeling in his water that there was oil underneath this plot of land that he bought. So he drilled a hole. He did. 60,000 feet. And nothing. So he's got this half an acre with a hole in the middle of it. Council came round and said, you can't leave that hole there like that. He said, well, I can't do nothing with it, it's a big hole. He said, you can't leave that hole there like that. Where's all the stuff you took out? He said, well, I've dumped it all over Norfolk. He said, well, you can't leave that there like that. You'll have to do something with it. So he thought, well, if I built a bungalow and made that the shit house. So he did, and he built this bungalow and he made this the shit house. All oak, straight bomber. He thought, well, it's going to take years to fill up. Finished the bungalow, lived in it a couple of months and thought, well, I'm going to move. Sold the bungalow, didn't tell anybody about this shit house. It was just a feature, all oak. It really did look nice. Couple bought it, moved into it, Sunday morning. Bloke's gone in for his Sunday morning pup, as you do. Mug of tea, news of the world, bacon sandwich. He's been in there about, 40 minutes. His old woman said, it's a long time day. Said, she's gone and banged on the door. You all right, Albert? 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 Nothing. So she's tried again, she can't. It's all oak, it's locked. She's banging on the door, starting to panic now, so she's sent for the police. The police have come, opened the door. There's Albert, on the pan, hands on his knees, ashen, dead as a fucking doornail. Red ring round his arse where he's been sitting there so long. Sent for the doctor said he's dead. He said, we can see that. So they've examined him and said, but he's died of natural causes. So they've said to his wife, did he have any sort of peculiar habits? She said, yeah. She said, he held his breath till he heard the first one go plop. But you do. A vicar got up one Sunday morning, thought, I'm not going to church on my bike, some bastards put a saddle on it. So he got out his pride and joy, Austin 7, beautiful little car, was his pride and joy. Lived in the village, like, you know, and away he's gone in the Austin 7, he's just coming through the village and it's gone bleh. So he's managed to roll it into the garage, only one pump, it's an old village, you know. And the young kids come out Sunday morning, morning, how many gallons? He said, I don't need no petrol, my son. He said, but it's gone boom. He said, it sounds like petrol. He said, no, the gate says full up. He said, do you know anything about cars? He said, well, no. So I'm a trainee mechanic, but I don't know nothing about them. He said, well, you're more mechanically minded than I am. Would you have a look at it? He said, well, I'll have a look, Vicar. He said, but it definitely sounds like, it sounds definitely like petrol. He's lifted up the side bonnet. He said, here's your petrol pipe's off. I can do that for you. Do that, I'll do that. Kid just dived his hand in. He's only grabbed hold of the red hot exhaust pipe. Oh, bastard! King bastard! Blisters, you bastard! By this time, the vicar's standing behind him, standing there going. Kids come up. Oh, he said, I thought you were Skippy, he said. He said, I'm not Skippy. He said, you mustn't swear. He said, well, burn my hand, look at the blisters. He said, I'm sorry that you have burnt your hand. He said, but you mustn't swear. Sing praise to God. God will help you far, far more than the devil. He said, you're right, Vicar. I shouldn't have swore. I'll have to do that from underneath. So he's jacked the car up. The kid's laying underneath, pushing. The jacks give way and the car's come down on the kid's chest. The kid's gone, Jesus Christ! The car has picked up all on its own and started to move off his body. And the vicar's gone, fucking hell. Oh, I've got to tell you a true story. My young boy woke me up one morning, and about 10 o'clock in the morning. And I said to him, what are you doing home from school, Steve? He says, my birthday, Dad, isn't it? I said, I forgot about that. I said, how old are you today? He said, I'm 11. I said, what do you want for your birthday? He said, I want a watch. So we let him. And he said, take us over the zoo. I said, you went over the zoo with your mother a few weeks ago. He said, yeah, but it rained, Dad. We had to come home. I said, well, I'm not walking all around the zoo, Steve. I said, come on. I said, but it's your birthday. I'll take you over. So I had the day off. We go over the zoo, and that was hilarious. We were in a reptile house, and there's a woman leaning across the barrier, stroking this crocodile. I said, oi, get back! I said, that might look asleep, but it ain't. I said, they're fucking man-eaters. Oh, she said, it ain't, is it? I said, yeah, fucking man-eater. Oh, she said, would he eat me out? I said, no, I'd probably spit that bit out. I said, it's a man-eater. So I said to him, I said, come on, Steve, whereabouts was you up to with your mum? He said, just round the corner. He said, Dad, what's that? I said, that's an elephant, boy. He said, no, I can see it's an elephant. What's the thing hanging down? I said, well, that's his trunk. That's what he... No, the other end. I said, well, that's his tail. No, you're worse than Mum. The big thing. I said, what did Mummy say it was? He said, Mummy said it was nothing. I said, that's the trouble with your mother. She's been spoiled. Now, bloke went out on the piss every Friday night. His old woman said, oi, you, home tonight at 12 o'clock. He said, all right, darling, I won't be late. She said, no later than 12, otherwise I shall give you a Roman nose. It'll be roaming all over your face. He said, darling, I'll be home sharp. Down the pub, few drinks. Who's she talking to? Smack her in the tit talking to me like that. Few more drinks. He's looked down at his watch, 1 o'clock. He thought, she'll bleeding kill me. His mate said, you might as well have a few more. Yeah. Looked down at his watch, 2:45. He thought, I better go home. So he's walking home. I've got to have an excuse. Car broke down. I ain't got a car. He's outside his house, 2 minutes to 3. Thought, I'll just have to be very, very careful. Open the front door, shoes off. He's just stepped inside, and the cuckoo clock was cuckooed 3 o'clock. Quick as a flash, he thought, if I cuckoo another 9 times, that's scattered cow, I think it's 12. So, cuckoo, 9 times. Got into bed, nothing said, he thought. Fucking done that. Got up the following morning, she said, you going down to town today? He said, I was thinking about it, why? She said, well, I suggest you take the cuckoo clock and amend us. He said, what's the matter with the cuckoo clock? She said, well, last night it cuckooed 3 times, coughed, burped and farted, and cuckooed another 9. A bloke at work this week, one of the blokes come in and said to him, can I have a bet? He said, I ain't got no money. He said, come on. He said, it's a sweepstake, big race. Come on, have a bet. He said, I ain't got no bleeding money. He said, look, he said, I've got a £5. He said, and that's got to see me for the rest of it. He said, that'll do. He said, piss off. He said, now you're in the sweepstake, £5, we're going to sweepstake. I thought, you bastard, it was the only £5. Only one came in, didn't he? His bloke come back and he said, you jammy bastard. Here, give him 200 quid. He said, I want £200, what, for a £5? He said, here, here's a tenner. God, give him 200 quid. I'm going to take the old woman out, sweeter. I'm going to knock off early, I'm going to take her out. I'm going to take her down to Circus Tavern and see Jimmy Jones. I'm going to take her down there. He's knocked off and he's walking home. Past his shoe shop. Sale on, he thought, I'll have a little look. Looked in, pair of real crocodile leather shoes, he thought. God, I've always wanted a pair of them. In he's gone. The real crocodile leather shoes. Bloke said, another one. Pair here, mate. Size 8. He said, how much? He said, well, 25 quid. He said, I'll try them on. So I tried them on. Oh, look at them. Size 8, they're real. They are real. Yeah, real. God, I'm going to keep them. I'll have them on. I'll have them. Put the other ones in the bag. I'll carry them. And he's walking home looking at his shoes. Oh, they're getting lovely. And they're getting lovely. Got to his front door, banged on the door. His old woman was over the door. She said, you're early. He said, I know I'm early. I've got a treat tonight. Look at me. Do you notice something? She said, look, it's early. I'm in the middle of doing your dinner. Come in. Neighbours is on. He said, I don't want to look at Neighbours. Look at me. Do you notice something? She said, look, I've had a poxy day. I've had the washing on the line 3 times. It's pissed the rain every time. He thought, I will make her look. He's gone upstairs. He's stripped off stark naked, all but for his crocodile shoes. Down he's come, standing in the kitchen doorway, stark as just a pair of fucking shoes on. She's peeling the taters. He said, "Oi!" And she's looked up. He said, "You notice something?" She said, "Yes, it's drooping." He said, "Yes, it's looking at my new crocodile shoes." She said, "Well, you should have bought yourself a fucking hat." Little kid came home from school, dashing home from school one day, got home a bit early, walked upstairs, and he could hear a noise in his mum's bedroom. He thought, "What's that?" So he looked through the keyhole, and there was his arse going up and down. He thought, "Okay, that's not my dad's arse. My dad ain't got a wart on his arse like that." So the kid stood there, got his little toy soldiers out on the landing. Doors open, the bloke's come out. He went, "Oh, hello, son. Hello. I saw you in here with my mum. My dad wouldn't like that." He said, "All right." He said, "No, I don't want to give him charity, mate. I'll sell you something." So he said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I'll sell you my toy soldiers." He said, "How much?" He said, 20 quid. He said, 20 quid? What toy? He said, "I'll tell me, it's 20 quid. Give us the toy soldiers." The kids thought, "That's handy." Come home the following night, bit early. Yeah, it's him. Got his toy tank, put it outside. Bloke's open doors, see the shop's open. "How much that?" He said, 20 quid. He said, "Oh, bastard." Following day being Saturday, his mother's going through his bedroom, found his 40 quid. She said, "Where'd you get that from?" So he told her all about it. She said, "You bastard. Now you get down to church and confess, you naughty little boy." So he went down to church in the confessional box. He said, "I've come to confess." He said, "Thank Christ for that. I thought you'd come for another 20 quid. I'm going home because I've got to go home. I'm at a row at home, and I'm not having a go at my wife. She's lovely in her place, just ain't there yet. When I was first married, my father-in-law promised me an acre of land and a cow. I'm still waiting for the land. We've had a row, and I don't mind the row, you know, an odd row, and it's nice to make up, isn't it, fellas? But you women can be very evil. You can give us blokes, you've got a built-in thing, this silent treatment, and you're good at it, aren't you? You are. I mean, oh, come on, piss off. You're telling me you'd never give your old man the silent treatment? Get out of it, you piss in the wind. I don't mind the silent treatment. The bit that annoys me with you women is you give us blokes the silent treatment, and 2 days into it, you forget it was you that started the bastard argument. And then you want us to grovel, and like prats, we do, don't we? I've been in it for a week now, and what it was, I came home last Sunday, about 3 o'clock. No, it wasn't 5. Oh, he got home at 5. Oh, getting 2 hours later than me. Every week. Oh, no, this was only 1 week. And I walked in, and I was sick over the cat, and I thought, I don't remember eating that. But I stood in the kitchen having a piss in the sink, because, see, that's something you women can't understand. A piss in the sink is comfortable for us, fellas. You just drop the knob there, you ain't got to steer it, have you? Mind you, we have a bit of fun if we're in the toilet on our own. We sort of chase a fag packet down the drain, or squeeze the helmet and catch a fly, don't we? But I looked down, and I was there a good 10 minutes because the tap was dripping, and there was tea leaves in the sink, and I had a word about that. I said, "That is a filthy habit, tea leaves in the sink." And the atmosphere was coming down the stairs, and I thought, some bastard's upset her. Now, could it be me? I thought, now, what's today? Sunday. When did I go out? Wednesday. You see, and I never phone. I mean, why get 2 bollockings? That's the way I look at it. You do, don't you? But when I got in the bedroom, did she have the "Where you been to, you dirty bastard?" Talking through her nose because she's wore her mouth out, like, you know. Did you get to be on the side? I said, "Why, have they moved it?" Don't try and be funny. What would you call me if you came home and caught me in bed with your best mate? What would you call me? I said, a lesbian. That slaughtered her. Till 10 to 5, then she started. Shot up in bed, she said, quick, here comes my husband. Me like a prat, jumped out the window. So I've had the silent treatment. I tried to make it up, so I bought her some flowers. She went, suppose I'll have to open my legs for them. And she got a vase. I said, if you'd said, I'd have got a couple more bunches. Well, you don't like to see him flopping about there. And then she had to go this morning, because I got up this morning and it looked quite nice out, so I left it out. And she said, come away from the windows. People think I married you for your money. You get the yump then, don't you, fellas? And you think, and I've been all day trying to think of a way of getting back at her, and I've done her up tonight. She don't know yet. What I've done tonight, I've pissed in the flannel and ain't wrung it out. I've done it. I've done it! It's one for you. You women are laughing, but I bet you get in the bar first tomorrow night. I know a fella, this is true. A fella went shopping and he saw a beautiful pair of shoes in the window, in this shoe shop. Had no price on them. So he had to go in. Well, he had a bit of an impediment, this boy, because every time he spoke, he broke wind. And he's walked in, there's a young girl behind the counter, and he said, excuse me. She said, yes, can I help you? He said, you got a pair of pins and shoes in that side window. She went, yes, it's just an odd pair. 7.5. He said, can I try them on, please? Yeah, you can stay there, dirty bastard. Tried them on, he said, they fit and they're nice, aren't they? How much are they? She said, I'm frightened to tell you, you'll shit yourself. It is, I've got to tell you a true story. Bloke went in a pub, and he's in this pub, and the first time he's been in the pub, and he got a bloke on a piano playing all the old tunes, and he really got, he said, God, it's like it. A few points. He said to the governor, great pianist. Don't come in many pubs like this. He said, no, he's a lovely old boy. He said, do you want a drink? He said, no, don't buy him no drinks. He said, because he gets a bit pissed, and when he's pissed, he's a bastard nuisance, and I've got to take him home, and he's old woman, and I'll have a fucking go at me if he's pissed. He said, well, I'm only going to buy him a pint. So he said, well, all right, lager. So he's got him a pint of Foster's, over he's gone. He plays a couple of tunes, he said, yeah, and it's really going, and he kept slipping in pints of Foster's. Well, by the end of the night, he is as pissed as a rat. And they've had to shut the lid of the piano, otherwise he oh. So the governor said, you got him pissed, you were going to take him home, because his old woman is going to have a right go at him. So he said, well, I don't know where he lives. He said, well, let's that whatever. He said, as you go out the pub door, he said, just turn left, and he's the third house down on the left. And I've got to tell you, his old woman's going to go berserk. So I said, nah, it's all right. So he's picked him up, come on. He's dragged him over, stood him up against the door, crashes hit the floor. He said, oh, Christ. So he picked him up again, held the door open, out he's gone, left, third house along, wasn't it? He's got him up against the gate, crashes hit the floor. He said, shut up. Oh, shut up! So he thought, I ain't going to get involved here with his old woman. So he's dragged him up the garden path, held him up against the door, pressed the doorbell, ding dong, let him go. As he's jumped the fence, crash, he's heard him hit the floor again. He's laying there, his old woman's open door, you bastard! Pissed! Dragged him in, got him up the following morning. She said, you were pissed last night. He said, I wasn't that pissed. She said, not much. You've even left your wheelchair down the pub. You've been a really lovely audience tonight. Now, thank you very much indeed for coming. Good night. God bless. Have a safe journey home. See you again. Bye-bye. Thank you. Everybody will laugh.
Everybody can see that.
That's lovely.
Just the way it should have been done.
Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I can relax.
Finished.
Enjoy it.